I think that's where we as athletes have an advantage over other people because our entire lives we're going to new teams and we're playing. We have to learn to play with people we've never met before and come together over a common goal. I mean, we could have 15 podcast episodes on the benefits that athletes have over like even just a student athlete and being able to balance like all the benefits that come with literally balancing a full-time job, which is, as a university athlete, we know that there's not much time for anything else, but we gain so many valuable skills that translate into life as well, right? What do you think you pull most from your time as a student athlete now that you're getting ready to start as a lawyer?
I think discipline and like knowing my own capabilities, balance as well, discipline in terms of schoolwork. With basketball, obviously you can't organize every single night, every single day. Like things happen. You might have, we had practice 6 to 8. So after practice, I didn't want to study. I was hungry. I had to shower, like, the typical.
Like 9:30, yeah.
Yeah. So you're just not in it. So I had to figure out like when I was productive, like how much work I wanted to get done. And I think organization skills are key and helped me in law school. Don't get me wrong. I don't necessarily do every single thing I plan to do every single day and get it done like religiously, but I do try to like adhere to like a structured calendar. Like I live by my calendar, and like obviously some days you can't get everything done, but I think basketball really teaches you that like you're capable of more than you think. So maybe I allot like 2 hours for reading that I really only need 45 minutes for, but also just knowing like, okay, I might need to like take a minute after I read for 15. Sure. And I think basketball has like challenged those things. And I think also just like getting to know different people. I think that's one of the greatest things about it is like, you're never going to love every single one of your teammates the same. You're going to connect more with some, less with others. You're going to have days where like you argue on the court and like some people leave it on the court, some people don't. But I think basketball just teaches you how to like adjust to different attitudes and perceptions and cultures, which I think has helped me and will help me in my future.
Sure. And like communicate, right? Because this was personally, I knew that I couldn't talk to one teammate the same that I did to anyone else. Mm-hmm. Someone would respond to criticism differently. Others would need like removed from the group and have a one-on-one conversation. Other people like really benefited from getting called out in front of the whole team. I just think as like Tommy's like the leadership skills and the communication skills that not everyone's the same. Mm-hmm. Just because I think something, it doesn't mean it's going to become clear to another person, right? So, I mean, already you know that once you start a career or you're in your job or even at a restaurant, like talking to like Will can definitely attest to this. I knew as a server that every table was going to be differently, or was going to be different, and that they were different personalities. So some would respond much better to, "Hey guys, how you doing today? Well, welcome to this, Salty. What can I get for you?" And then other people would just be like, "Don't talk to me. Take my order and leave me alone." And I think I owe it to basketball because I feel like I have a really good ability to read that, and then.
Body language.
Kind of the body language, energy you're giving off.
Delivery.
It's these little subtle things that mean a lot. Yeah. And I just feel like basketball allowed me to really, really develop that because it's so important. I use that all the time, even in these different conversations. When can I jump in? When does someone need a question? When do they need this and that? Like, it's like, man, there's so much that comes from sport.
Do you want to touch on that? I was going to go back to something, but do
you
want to follow up?
One more thing about sport was like being able to take criticism is something I think I took from that, because it's hard for any of us, I think, to take criticism, but like you're naturally, especially in basketball, I found you'd be called out in practice, at least by my coach, in games, halftime, and like being capable of like taking like whatever they're saying and like keep it moving, I think is essential. And I think that's one thing that I take with me through school is like, if I don't get the best mark on something, like, yeah, I'm pissed about it, but I don't
Yeah.
wake up the next day and I'm not bitter. Like life goes on and like what can I do next? And I think basketball really gave me the mentality of like what's next? Like how can you improve? And
Right.
like taking the benefits of criticism because like
Was your SMU coach like really vocal and like a really hard on you guys, or was he more of like, was he one to call you out and start cursing at you and like say,
yeah, he had his moments, and I think also like the more senior you became, the less you'd get called out because the more senior you were, that's when you started to call people out, or like you would recognize your own mistakes a little bit more. And like the seniors would call me out when if I did something wrong, or like talk to me after practice if I needed it, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, so yeah, he yelled, but we also had an assistant coach who did like most of the yelling, and I liked it.
do you have like one memory, like before, I know, Will, you want to get back, but
No,
do you
it's all
have
good.
like, one memory through your entire basketball career where like either you or one of your teammates got savagely like called out in front of the whole team?
Um,
Because it happens. I swear everyone has one. Where
yeah.
like,
There's one time when he almost canceled practice on us, but he didn't. I'd say he definitely called out a few people more than others, and like I can remember that vividly, but I'm like not gonna say. But
How did that make you feel? Did
as
it like as a human, like outside of basketball, like the sport, competitive, what you say about constructive criticism, like how did it make you feel watching maybe people that were at the bottom of the food chain getting called out repeatedly, even knowing that like they probably, whether they should be doing what they're supposed to do, like at the end of the day, like
they're trying.
they're trying, yeah, like just their skills, their physical stature, their mind might not be as fast or strong as you guys. Like how did it feel for you, like to watch that? Like did anybody?
Like you might feel sympathetic sometimes, of course you do. Like if someone's giving their all and it's just like not what's asked for. But I also think in those moments you're a little more numb to it because like it comes with the sport. So like unless something's extremely rude is said, when someone gets yelled at, like you don't feel that bad because you've all been there before. And you kind of know your coach's style and your coach's attitude. And at the end of the day, like you're a team. So if you see someone really feeling shitty, afterwards you can talk to them.
Okay.
But I didn't usually take it home, and I don't remember my coach really ever being that like offensive to someone where I was like, shh.
Thanks for tuning in to TOTFC podcast. If you liked it and you want to hear more, please share it with a friend, a family member, a teammate, or anybody. Like the video, consider subscribing to TOTFC podcast.